Hey, Hickory Grove. Pastor Rick here. Just wanted to share a quick devotion with you this morning. Um, I was in our reading plan, as hopefully you are as well, in 1 Samuel this morning. And we read chapter 1 and part of chapter 2, focusing on Hannah's life and then the beginning of Samuel's life. And so just wanted to talk a little bit about Hannah's situation. Hannah was obviously frustrated. If you read the scriptures, she was frustrated because she couldn't have a baby, and then her rival, her other sister wife, if you want to call her, had children. She wasn't able to have a child, and she was very frustrated by that. And she knew exactly where to take her frustration. She was frustrated with a lot of things, but she took her frustration to the Lord in prayer. She didn't stop worshiping God. She may have been frustrated with the Lord in her situation, but it was from God. The Lord is the opener and closer of the womb. The Bible says in chapter 1 of Samuel that the Lord had closed her womb. He is the one who decided not to allow her to have children at the time. And so she petitioned him through prayer. So when we're frustrated in life, we should follow the pattern that Hannah set out for us. If we're frustrated with our life, frustrated with our situation, whatever current situation you're in, and there are absolutely frustrations in your life, you don't just complain and whine and moan and groan. You take those frustrations in prayer to the Lord, because He is the one who can do something about those frustrations. He can change your situation. He's the one that can do something about them. Now, He may not. He might not change your situation, but He will give you the strength to get through it. And so what He does for Hannah is He answers her prayer. He answers it favorably. He answers all of our prayer, not always favorably, but He does so in the case of Hannah. But He does so for His purposes and for His timing. We have to be patient in the Lord. Now, Hannah took her prayer to the Lord. She petitioned God. She took her request and made them known to the Lord. And then she waited for Him to answer her. She trusted Him, and He answered her prayer, and she put all of her faith in the Lord, and she trusted Him. And she was granted the birth of a son, and she gave her son back to the Lord years later as she took him to priest Eli to raise, just like she promised the Lord she would do in her prayer. And oftentimes when we're frustrated, we don't know what to do. Follow the example of Hannah. Take your frustrations to the Lord. Allow Him to work in your life in a great way. And then also, as we continue to read, you follow the story of Samuel a little bit. You get into the beginning portion of it, and it stops us in verse 21. Samuel was a good young man doing the right thing. He was around Eli's sons, who were terrible people doing the wrong things. And our time today with the Lord ended with verse 21. And verse 21 says this: "Indeed, the Lord visited Hannah, and she conceived and bore 3 sons and 2 daughters." So she had more children. The Lord visited her, did not forget her, and continued to bless her with children. And then the boy, Samuel, her first child, the one she prayed about in the beginning, grew in the presence of the Lord. So you may not be getting what you want now. You may not be in the situation that you want to be in right now. But the most important thing that you can do is keep faithful to the Lord. Stay true to doing what the Lord has commanded us to do. Samuel did exactly that. Samuel just did what was expected of him, did what was required of him by the Lord, did the right thing, and in time, the Lord will promote us the way He wants to promote us, in His timing. You don't have to push the Lord's timing. It's great to make your petitions known to the Lord. Pray and ask the Lord for all the things that you want to ask the Lord for. Cry out to God in a fervent way. Please do so. The Bible tells us, compels us to pray. Please feel free to pray. But understand, the Lord is the one who's going to answer the prayer in the way He wants to answer it and in the time He wants to answer it. So trust the Lord for His timing and for His promoting when you're ready. But in the meantime, do the right things. Don't just pout and start living a life any way you want to. Do what's right, be faithful, and grow in the presence of the Lord, so that when the Lord does answer your prayer, you'll be ready. Hope you have a good day. God bless.